Thank you again, Thomas. Our next speaker is Charlie Furman, and he is the campaigns manager for Demand Progress, the civil liberties and internet freedom organization co-founded by Aaron Swartz, and was the driving force in defeating SOPA and PIPA. Demand Progress just merged with Root Strikers this week to take on fixing our broken campaign finance system. Charlie is working primarily to coordinate the efforts to pass Aaron's Law and to fix the CFAA, the law that determines what's legal and illegal online. Please welcome Charlie.
So, which one's the actual mic? Is it this one? There we go. So before I get started, who here...
Bend it down. There we go.
Before I get started, who here knows who Aaron was? Cool. So, I spent a lot of my time working on carrying forward Aaron's legacy, and in a lot of ways, this is it. Like, people from online spaces who are coming offline to demand the changes that they actually want to see in the world. So I think that's really incredible. So before anything else, can people give themselves a hand for being here, please? So for the few of you who didn't know who Aaron was, he was really a gentle, humble, just truly brilliant human who, even by the age of 14, had already revolutionized the way that we interact with the internet. But by the end of his life, was a fierce political activist. He was a real driving force in defeating SOPA and PIPA and engineering the internet blackout that caused sites like Wikipedia, Craigslist, Reddit, Tumblr, and all sorts of sites to go black in protest. The thing about the history of defeating SOPA, though, is that it's so often told as a story of big companies, big corporations, who, like Google, who stopped this bill, when really those companies had already decided previously that it was a lost cause, that it was an inevitability, that it was going to happen, and it was everybody else, like all of the people, hundreds of thousands of people, who said that that's not the case, that we can actually do this, that we can stop it. And it was the millions of phone calls into Congress that actually changed people's minds. I think Aaron said it best when he said, if we let Hollywood rewrite the story so it's just big company Google who stopped the bill, if we let them persuade us we didn't actually make a difference, if we start seeing it as someone else's responsibility to do this work, and it's our job just to go home, pop some popcorn, curl up on a couch, and watch Transformers, well then next time, they might just win. And those words are incredibly prescient at this point because that's where we are. Like, we've heard literally over the last hour how egregious all of this wiretapping is, how wrong it is. We all came here today because we all agree that this mass surveillance is wrong. So the question now, and really the question that I think is the most important one for us to be asking, is what are we going to do about it? Like, how are we going to stop it? And the first step to answering it, as simple as it is, coming out here and all of that, is to sign in, right? So there are clipboards that are floating around. You should write your name down on them. You should write down your email on them. You should actually make sure that way we can follow up. Because, to be blunt, while it's great to see so many people here, just showing up isn't what's going to change things. Like, just showing up here is not what's going to do it. It's incredible, and it's inspiring, and it's awesome to see so many, literally see hundreds of people here. But that has to be only the beginning if we want to actually do something about it.
That's right.
So, sign in, but even when you sign in, don't just, think about it like, oh, I signed my name, and that's all I need to do. Think about the fact that when you're doing that, you should be thinking about getting ready to get involved. Whether it's with us at Demand Progress, or with Restore the Fourth, or with Code Pink, or anybody else. Because it's easy to be excited when you're around hundreds of people. It's really easy to take action right now, or to promise that you're going to take action while you're here. But the thing that's really hard, and the thing that matters the most, is tomorrow, and it's the next day, it's the day after that, and it's all those days where we don't have rallies with hundreds of people who are all demanding the same thing. But those are the days that we most need to be working and acting and actually moving things forward if we want to end this mass surveillance. So that means that tomorrow, when you get an email from us, open it. Read it. If you give it to us on the sign-in, we talked about this. Answer a phone call, or make a phone call. Organize more events like this, or film screenings, or go with a bunch of people that you know with signs to a town hall meeting with your congressman and demand that they actually do something about this. Make them know that you actually care. Because while these rallies are fun and exciting and more than anything else really, really energizing, that energy needs to go somewhere. The only way we're going to win is if everyone takes it as their job to actually save this crucial freedom, to end this mass wiretapping. We throw ourselves into it and make it a collective battle for our rights. If we do all the things that we can possibly think of, that's the way that we're going to win. Because history is filled with exceptional moments that spark change. But these leaks by themselves aren't going to be the thing that changes history. They're not going to change the course of history, or they're not going to make themselves memorable. Moments like this become memorable because of all the things that happen afterwards, because of all the things that people like Andrea, the people who actually put this on, have been doing, and what all of you are going to do going forwards. It's all of the organizing, all of the activism, and all of the mass involvement that actually has to happen. Because the leaks have happened. What we need to do now is make those leaks the moment that ended the mass surveillance. Yeah. That's on us. Yeah. Because at this point, if nothing comes of these leaks, if the blatant surveillance continues, it won't leave a legacy that we want to remember. It won't leave a legacy of improving our democracy. And it's not always going to be easy. Like, I won't promise that it's always really simple. But it's going to take all of us working with it, and that's the history of social change in this country. That's a history of making things better. And that's what I'm asking you to do. That's what I'm asking you to be part of right now. I'm asking you to sign in. I'm asking you to take action in the days to come and to say yes to actually getting involved, no matter who it is that asks you, whether it's Demand Progress or Restore the Fourth or Code Pink or Bill of Rights Defense Committee or any of the other people that are here. Because we want these leaks to be memorable. We want them to be something that changes the course of history. And that's only going to happen if everybody says yes to getting involved when they're asked. So, like it was said earlier, meet someone here that you don't know, get coffee, make plans. This August, take advantage of the congressional recess. Go plague your congressperson a little bit. And do all the sorts of things that we also don't think of or don't ask you to do. And do especially those things, because you're going to be more creative than like a couple of us who have been doing this for a while. You'll do things that we don't think of, and those are the best. So, if we let like these big companies or the government or anybody else persuade us that we can't actually make a difference, if we see it as someone else's responsibility to do this work, and it's our job just to go home, pop some popcorn, curl up on the couch to watch Transformers, well then this time they will win. And let's not let that happen. Thanks.